I'm guessing you enjoyed this pond.
Yes.
Yeah, very much so.
We did, yeah.
How old are your kids?
11 and 13.
Can we bribe them to go swimming?
Probably.
Okay. Living the Aquascape lifestyle. So night is probably another 45 minutes away. I got here just in the nick of time. I drove all the way in from New Jersey to the Albany, New York suburbs, and I'm out here with longtime certified aquascape contractor and artist of the year, Alan Decker, and we're on our first stop of a multi-day trip, right buddy? Yes, he's got to deal with me for multiple days. I love to show the aquascape lifestyle and how people are living it, and you put a water feature in here 12 years ago for the previous owners.
A small little pond, at least 12 years ago, maybe longer. We were maintaining it with these new owners, and they saw us on Facebook building rec ponds, so we put a rec pond in.
Oh, that's cool. So it's a big water feature here. Let's go check it out. Wow, look at this yard. Holy cow. Oh, so this is the original.
Yeah.
This is what kind of inspired that.
Yeah.
Wow, that is gorgeous. Is it connected? It's not connected, it just looks like it. You made it look like it.
Made it look like it is.
Jenny and Joe, I'm the pond guy, Greg. They got frogs jumping everywhere out here.
Yeah, they love it.
This is what kind of started the whole thing, huh? You bought a house with an existing pond.
Yeah, absolutely.
And before we knew it.
I'm guessing you enjoyed this pond.
Yes.
Yeah, very much so.
We did, yeah. It's just the sound of the water. It's so soothing when you sit on the deck and just listen to it.
Amen.
We had a couple of really spectacular batches of koi fish that we swum through here, and we keep it koi stocked on a pretty semi-annual basis.
Go down to Decker's and get some new fish. Do you have young kids? I saw some bikes up front.
Yeah.
So they love it probably too, right?
And it was a really soothing environment, you know, and it was pretty different from where we came just outside of Boston.
And what we had here before was, well, you remember, Alan.
Yeah.
It was,
A little different.
oh yeah,
What do you mean?
overgrown block walls that were falling down.
Okay, so you did some landscaping work here as well.
Yeah, so we did the
they
fire pit.
created this whole environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was kind of blocked off and wasn't really accessible. And now it's like this little paradise.
Because you got this whole walkway down to it.
Right, and it's just open and you can see everything and the water is everywhere.
How old are your kids?
11 and 13.
Can we bribe them to go swimming?
Probably.
Okay. So I had been driving for 2.5 hours. So I'm gonna do this. The dogs were barking, and look at that beautiful water. And unlike a chlorinated pool, it just feels natural. You don't need to feel those chemicals. It's just the way nature intended it. I love this stone bridge, the stone walkway down here. Gorgeous waterfall, and what I love that Alan did, when I came up around here, the first thing I saw was this waterfall, and I saw this down here. It looked like it was connected, but it's not. He just has a spillway right here, and it looks like it just kind of comes underneath here from over here. It looks like the pond just continues, which of course was his goal there. So starting a fire. I don't know a better way to end a long road trip than this. So listen to that sound. I'm just surrounded by it. Love all of the big stonework. I mean, Alan had to come in here, put this entire wall in to hold the earth back. Just step across, go with this pathway, and here we have a gorgeous waterfall. This is the filter, and this is what's amazing. He's got a wetland filter up here, keeps this thing crystal clear. There's frogs everywhere. It's kind of dark, you can't really see it, but there's leopard frogs jumping everywhere around here. Build it, and they will come. That is the filter. And look at how clean and natural that looks. You don't see pipes and tubes and plastic. You got an intake bay over here that he created. And that's where the pumps sit outside the pond and draw in from there. So when we do a pond that's going to be primarily used like this one for swimming, we have external pumps. It just recirculates. He's got 2 different feeds, one going up there to that waterfalls and one going up to the wetland over here. Intake bay over here. So all you do for that is when the leaves fall from these trees, they get into this little skim cove over here, and then you just take a net and pop them out. And you can see he's got an automatic dosing system, actually 2 because it's a big pond. So that adds bacteria to the water, which breaks down the organics that come in here. Here we got the family coming out to go swimming with a little fire. And then there's the where the pumps get housed in the back there. Hey guys! So you ready for a swim? What's your name, honey? Delilah. Delilah? Are you an 8th grader?
No, I'm going into 6th.
Okay, big girl. What do you think of the pond?
I actually.
Do your friends think it's cool? That's sweet.
Was like the perfect.
Because the kids can play in it and hang out.
Yeah, because we really did go into it.
Did you catch a frog? Isn't that cool? There's a lot of frogs out here. Whoop! Very fun. How do the kids enjoy this pond?
The kids absolutely love this pond. They're in it all the time, and you know, I mean, it's where we go swimming at this point. When we're not several hours away up at Lake George, we're here and we're swimming at our pond.
And how does this fit into your kind of your holistic approach of parenting and, you know, living on the environment?
That's a great question. We really try to advocate for biodiversity on the property, and we try to build and grow the property so that whatever we do here encourages biodiversity and biodiverse growth. And this pond is part of the ecosystem. We have frogs and turtles here. We have all kinds of salamanders and like small, I guess, sort of amphibious life. We have deer that drink out of this pond. We've had, you know, birds that will take baths in the pond, and we have koi, you know, up top. Actually, the last couple of years since we've had this installed, we have watched frogs breed inside of the pond, and it's really amazing because we will go swimming in the springtime with hundreds of tadpoles, and we'll be able to watch them grow into frogs. It's really the
life cycle.
It's amazing, like watching the life cycle, and then, you know, they go off and they turn into frogs and they head off onto the rest of the property. So it's great stuff. The kids use it all the time, and it's really cool having a place where we can swim that's sort of like a living science lab at the same time. It's a great teaching tool. It's just a lot of fun, you know?
How did this whole thing come about? Like, this is not something that people normally think about.
Jen and I talked for a long time about, you know, possibly getting a pool or something like that. We didn't want exposure to chemicals. We didn't want the type of aesthetic that a pool brings. And as I said, you know, putting natural features onto the property that really fit with the property itself. They're not obtrusive. They blend with the landscape and they're part of the landscape was really important to us. And, you know, we talked a lot about different, I guess, sort of possible ways of approaching it. And, you know, we saw a couple of really cool videos, a couple of them being on Decker's website about bioponds and about how those are really a spectacular alternative to just sort of conventional swimming pools. And we decided to go in this direction and absolutely no regrets whatsoever. In fact, I can't imagine having a regular swimming pool instead of this because this is just so much better.
People are used to regular swimming pools. Talk a little bit about what the maintenance is like.
Non-existent. It's such low maintenance. You know, we put in beneficial bacteria, which is completely safe for humans to interact with. We put it in once every 2 days or so. You give the system a couple of squirts. You know, we clean out the leaves in the very early spring and in the late fall, you know, just like you would have to do if you had a swimming pool. And the nice part about it is, like, unlike chlorine pools, which have that like hard water feeling, the water in this, the only way you can describe it's soft. It's got this sort of gentleness to it that you just don't get with chemically treated water, and it's just much more enjoyable to swim in.
I always take a shower after I swim in a pool, and I rarely take a shower after I swim in a pond.
Exactly. That's exactly how we do things.
Wanted to make use of this space back here behind the house where it was more intimate and where our family could really enjoy it.
And you were saying how it came at a perfect time right before COVID hit.
Yeah, it was really perfect. I mean, we were here in lockdown and having this space changed everything for us. It really, really did. It made it a happy place to be, you know, where we could really do a bunch of things that we love to do that we usually have to go and travel to get to.
Yes, it's here.
And then at night, this is 9 times out of 10 where we end up.
Yeah, because it's so relaxing. Perfect way to end the day.
And the moon's right there, always looking over us, so perfect spot.
That's pretty awesome. And Delilah, your friends, you said, like to come over here?
We've had a few people over, but not a lot.
Yeah.
We've been lockdown.
Yeah.
You know, but they are all excited.
Over. Yeah.
They're waiting, right?
Because before it was like, hey, you guys want to like snowshoe or hike through the woods? And now they're like, can we come over and go swimming and have a bonfire?
That's awesome.
It's just perfect.
This woman was the visionary for this entire thing. So this really was her brainchild.
Like you said, you married up.
I gotta say, no, but I mean, we talked about all of the different options, but at the end of the day, you know, the real vision here, the layout, the aesthetic, plant choices,
only the idea of putting it here and nestling it in.
Well,
these guys are the artists.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
So when you came here, Alan, what did the property look like? There was an existing wall?
Yeah, actually, the original owner had done like this retaining wall block on his own. So it was kind of all falling down and it just really didn't look well. You know, Jenny had kind of told me what her vision was and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So I could see it as soon as we got here. Like you said, we designed it in the front first. Then once you said shift gears, I love elevation. So actually, this was a much better setting than the front where it was flat. It was a great transition for her to suggest to come back here. Basically, we just came in here, we did all the patio stuff, we did the fire pit, we did the recreation pond, the waterfall on this side. The reason that we put this waterfall over here too is because there's an existing pond up there, so we wanted it to look like it was all one unit coming down and just transferring back in. But one of the biggest things that when I look at stuff, I like everything to flow, so it's interactive. I think like coming down that set of stairs and then going down into the pond was important to kind of tie together.